What's going on, guys? It's the Unhinged Engineer here, and today I'm incredibly excited to announce that the channel is 1 year old. I have been posting to the channel since October 2024, and it is currently October 2025. So I thought it would be good to kind of share what it's like from the other side of the thumbnail, talk about my perspective on how the channel's been doing, share some statistics with you guys that I get to see, talk about how I feel about it, some of the lessons I've learned over the process of making YouTube videos for a year, and allude a little bit to some large changes I want to make to the channel going forward, but that will be the second of the 2 videos in this kind of 1 year anniversary series. So yeah, today I'm mostly going to focus on just what it's been like from my perspective, in case anybody else is going along a similar journey or is just curious what it's like making YouTube videos. And then next time, I'm going to talk about some of the changes I plan to make based on the information we'll discuss today. So stay tuned for that one if you're interested. If this is your first video with us and you're just primarily interested in the YouTuber perspective rather than what I do specifically, let me talk really briefly about what this channel is about. So I make professional development content for young engineers like me. I'm an aerospace engineer by trade, and I graduated college a couple of years ago. So the tech space has been pretty tumultuous over the last few years, and for whatever reason, I feel like I'm at least half decent at navigating it, getting the jobs I want, the interview processes, salary negotiations, stuff like that. I feel like I've done okay, I've held my own, and so I started this channel to share some of the wisdom I've accrued over time with you guys. That's the thesis statement of my channel as a whole. In addition to that, I vlog my Georgia Tech grad school journey. So I'm getting a degree in computer science at night while I work full time, and I've been vlogging what that process of putting myself through school on my own has been like in addition to my regular uploads. So let's break down the videos I made thus far. I have made 74 videos total to date. There's 44 regular uploads in there. So just kind of picking a topic within the realm of professional development, discussing my thoughts on it, sharing it with you guys. Those usually range between 10 and 20 minutes. 30 vlogs. So the vlogs have been almost weekly to this point, and 28 of those 30 have just been normal episodes, which are usually about some specific assignment or some specific project, or if it's a couple things, just kind of generally briefing you on what the course is like in any given moment. And 2 of those were very formal reviews that were kind of separate, not really informal like the vlogs have been. The vlogs are generally unedited. My reviews have been a little bit more like higher production quality and actually thought out in case anybody is trying to start these classes in the near future. I want to make sure they have good information. So there's been 2 formal course reviews, 3rd one on the way. One more thing. They're all long form, no shorts. I have not made a single short to date, and we'll talk about some of that kind of later in this video. But yeah, no shorts to date, all long form. And that equates to 1 video every 5 days or like 1.4 videos per week. So I definitely haven't been perfect in adhering to the schedule, but I think overall I've done a good job of it. And yeah, I feel like that's been a good schedule for me, a little tight at times, and that's part of why I haven't been totally consistent, but holding myself to it, I think, has been effective in the growth so far. Speaking of the growth so far, where is the channel at in terms of performance? Well, I'm very happy to announce I have 219 subscribers and counting. So thank you guys so much for your support. Really happy about that number. I hit 100 subscribers a couple of months ago, I think in July, and it's been doing really, really well. So that shows the non-linear growth that most things in terms of content creation experience, which is really, really exciting. So yeah, 219 subscribers at the time of recording, and I have a total of 12,500 views with 600 hours of watched content. Overall, there's what you would expect, this Pareto distribution of, you know, I have a lot of videos, like a long tail. Some videos just didn't do as well as I'd hoped. There's a lot of vlogs that kind of hover around 50 views, 50 to 100, maybe if it's a good episode. Then in terms of the highest performing vlogs and kind of average regular uploads, those typically range between 50 and 200. Again, all of these have a long tail of kind of when I was starting and still understanding how to make good videos. Some of those weren't as high quality as I'd like. But yeah, in terms of where I'm at current performance, typically about 50 to 200 on an average video, and then low hundreds, like 400, 500, maybe 600 on a good video, and then the greatest ones hopefully get to almost 1,000. So speaking of that, what was my top video? Well, my top video was Computer Science is Cooked in 2025, study this instead. So it was a little clickbaity and not that radical of a take. Basically, I was just advocating for studying something in hard technology like aerospace engineering or mechanical engineering and learning to code later rather than studying computer science, and just honestly shitting on computer science degrees, which is funny because I'm getting one right now, but that's besides the point. That video is my top performer by far, It's gotten 2,850 views so far, 110 hours of watch time, and netted me 21 subscribers. One thing I do think is interesting is that my second highest performing video, which was the software engineering tools that help you not look like a moron, software tooling that you don't really learn about in school, like Docker or build systems like CMake and Bazel, kind of general technical stuff like that, but pseudo technical. That video has less views and less watch time, but actually netted me 30 subscribers, which is pretty interesting. So interesting how, for whatever reason, that one got me more subscribers than this one, which has double the views and about like 50% more watch time. So that was pretty neat. That one, and then the software engineering tools that help you not look like a moron one, are definitely my two best performing episodes by far. One more thing, just for context, in case anybody's curious, I have made a whopping $0 so far, which is to be expected. I wasn't expecting to roll in money like Logan Paul in my first year, or ever for that matter. But anyway, so just for context, right? The YouTube Partner Program, which once you're in that program, you start getting monetized and start putting ads on your videos. You need 500 subscribers and 3,000 hours of watch time. And like I said earlier, I'm at 219 subscribers and 600 hours of watch time. So definitely not there yet, but for reasons I'll talk about kind of in the next sections of this video, I'm pretty happy towards progress with that, ultimately getting the YouTube Partner Program. That is a good segue towards my thoughts on the channel performance, like how I feel about it, what it's been like. And yeah, before getting into the formal lessons learned, I just want to share my mindset about it and what the experience has actually been like. So overall, I would say I'm incredibly satisfied with the performance of this channel. I didn't really have any expectations for the first year, and I'm really glad I came into that with that mindset, because I've learned a lot about YouTube in general. And one thing I do believe is that for such a specific niche, which is young aerospace engineering kid who's not making technical content, but also vlogs, grad school, like it's a very small niche of people who are probably interested in what I'm going through in life at the same time. For such a small niche, I definitely feel like 219 is non-trivial. I mean, that's a pretty big lecture hall, right? So I'm very happy that enough people find regular value from my content that they actually subscribe to it. And speaking of that, I do think the view consistency is very good. I mean, I've seen a lot of those long tail kind of underperforming videos slowly but surely crop up over time. And my better performing videos have that sustained continued growth, to the point that I've been getting 1,000 views per month over the last few, despite the videos themselves individually having that really strong Pareto distribution. The distribution over time has been kind of linearly ramping up, which is really good, and indicates to me, not that I'm an expert, but whatever, indicates to me that the channel is growing in a healthy way. And so that makes me really happy. Also, on top of that, I've gotten lots of really good engagement in the comments. I've actually gotten to meet a subscriber digitally, which has been a pretty awesome experience. That's cool. You know who you are, shout out. Yeah, so that's been really great, like getting lots of engagement in the comments, hearing people say that these videos are helpful. And that experience as well has been really great. And again, these are the main reasons that I'm incredibly grateful and happy about the growth and the health of our viewer base. What are my goals for next year? Even though I'm going to talk about specific changes I want to make to the channel in the next video, I do think it would be good to kind of lump in how I'm perceiving the next year's performance and what I'm trying to get out of it based on the information I have about this year. I'm trying to be realistic, but I'm also trying to be ambitious. So my goal is that I'd like to be monetized by October 2026. Not that I expect to like go out and buy myself a Bentley in October 2026, but just that it's a pretty big accomplishment. I mean, most channels don't get to the point where they're monetized, right? Getting that YouTube Partner Program, 500 subs and 3,000 hours of watch time. To me, it's a huge achievement, even if my ad revenue is like 50 cents a month. I think it'll be impressive to me that I outperformed a certain percentile of channels and have been disciplined about it for long enough to get that achievement. So that's my goal. I'd like to be in the YouTube Partner Program by 2026. Now, I anticipate the watch hours requirement being more difficult than the subscriber requirement, because the subscriber thing I've seen over the last couple months, like we've doubled since the 100 that we were at in July or June, I can't remember. We've roughly doubled over the last couple months, which is really great. And I hope that continues. Hopefully I put out a couple banger videos and you guys really enjoy it. And I keep that exponential growth going with the subscribers. That is definitely my goal. Now the watch hours thing, it just takes a lot of time. And unless I really blow up and go viral, it's gonna take sustained performance of videos over time to hit that 3,000 hours of watch time in October 2026. If you do the math, if I just double my current statistics, I would not make the YouTube Partner Program. I had 440 subs and I'd have 1,200 hours of watch time as opposed to the 500 and the 3,000 I need. On the one hand, some of my behaviors definitely have to change. And so that's why I'm gonna make the second video about specific action items that I have going into 2026. But then by the same token, given that YouTube growth hasn't really been linear at all anyway, I don't think it's unrealistic. I don't think it's crazy. If I set out to have 100,000 subscribers by 2026, to me, that would be kind of insane. I feel like this trajectory is really solid and hopefully I can crush it and then some, but we'll see. You know, like you got to do your best. And at the end of the day, as I'll talk about in the next section, you really got to focus on the inputs versus the outputs. So that's a good segue now to lessons learned from 1 year of doing YouTube within my niche. So the biggest one I can say, hands down, is focusing on inputs and not outputs. This is just, in my opinion, a good lesson for life. You really cannot control how many views you're gonna get or how fast your subscriber base is gonna grow. Like, it's completely outside of your control. What you can focus on is improving the quality of your videos and putting them out regularly and each time getting a little bit better from the last time. To me, I think going into it, I was like, oh, I understand this. I'm just gonna try to hit videos at the cadence that I set out to do. And as long as I do that, I'm happy. And I have been happy. That's just maybe completely satisfied. I feel like I executed on what I set out to do. One thing I did not anticipate is that whenever I'd have a banger video that did really well, I would think I could replicate that right away. That idea was good, so let me try to morph it into something different or use the same structure. I very much would try to copy paste performance of individual videos over the last year. The times I felt myself the most disappointed were then. This is just like the CS is Cook video. It's definitely gonna blow up, and then it doesn't. Or this is just like the software engineering tools for morons or not for morons video, and then it doesn't blow up. Stay detached from the performance of any one video and just focus on overall. Even if a video wasn't performing as well as I'd hoped, definitely I could look at the channel as a whole and be like, okay, we're growing. Slow and steady wins the race. You're watching the stock price and it goes up and down and it fluctuates a lot day to day, but you can see the trajectory going upwards and that should make you happy. Definitely focus on inputs and not outputs there. In addition to that, despite having made a whopping $0, there has been a ton of intangible value from being a YouTuber for the last year. I think the biggest one is probably public speaking. I mean, talking to a camera is definitely different from public speaking, but it still has helped me out a ton in terms of my verbal communication skills. So that's been huge. People talk about that a lot. There's a lot of value and you learn a lot about yourself, just putting yourself on camera and then putting that out on the internet. And that's definitely been true in my experience. In addition to that, forcing myself to articulate my ideas and my beliefs about professional development has really helped me, A, with making better videos, but B, analyzing my own career and thinking about what I want more precisely, right? Because I kind of had these ideas before, ideas about what makes a good resume or how to prepare for interviews or stuff like that. But when you sit down and really force yourself to actually articulate them and then put it in a video and stand by that, like put it on the internet, it definitely makes you better at that skill. It makes you better at that skill of analysis because you've had to really bring your views into focus and then you can apply them more effectively. And so that's been really, really huge. I think that rivals the public speaking piece in terms of utility there. After that, I think another one that's really good is how I think about content. So I've kind of shifted from being a consumer to being a producer of content. Obviously, I still watch more YouTube than I produce, but being on the other side of it has made me more cognizant of the kind of content I'm watching, what's good content, what's bad content, taking techniques from YouTubers. Like that wasn't something I thought I'd pick up on of, oh, this guy does that, I can incorporate that into my video. I don't like how they did this, but I bet I can do it better in this way. Thinking about YouTube videos as something that I can input, not just like an output. I'm just passively absorbing content, and that's really the end of it. So that new loop is really, really cool. And the last thing I want to talk about, not to end on a bad note, but what my biggest regret is, this kind of segues to the specific changes I want to make that I'll talk about in the next video. I think my biggest regret also comes with an associated positive lesson that some things get better naturally as you make more and more videos. So I was told over and over and over again, whenever I would watch content about making content, that discipline is incredibly important and you have to just put out videos in a regular cadence. And that is 100% true. And as I've done that, certain things like my verbal delivery, like my writing, like my ability to come up with ideas and then translate them into an actual argument with some kind of structure, writing out a script and executing on it in a video, that kind of stuff. All those skills have gotten a lot better naturally over time, at least I think. You guys can be the judge of it. But other things have not gotten better. Like my editing has not really gotten that much better. I mean, I do it faster now, which is good for me, but I feel like I'm not pulling some crazy Call of Duty Face Clan editing in any of my videos. Also, my production quality has not gotten that much better. I'm still doing the stuff I did where like I'm recording this from my office at home. Clearly it's gotten me as far as I've gotten. Certain things you can expect to go up naturally, kind of without a ton of intentional thoughts. Like I didn't read any books on articulation or arguments or good writing. I didn't do any of that. I just did it more and more and more, and I have gotten better over time. But then other things don't, and you kind of have to invest a little bit more intentionally going forward if you want your skills to actually hit that next level. And so that leads me to a lot of the decisions I'm going to make going forward. Certain things have gotten a lot better naturally, and other things I think could really use some work, and I need to spend some time with intentionality on them. That was a lot, but I really just wanted to share with you guys what it's been like making YouTube videos for you over the last year. Like I've said 1,000 times in this video and probably in other ones, I've really enjoyed it. I've gotten a lot of value out of it. Hopefully you guys have as well. And if you do, I'm the Unhinged Engineer. I make professional development content for you guys. And yeah, if you like that, like, comment, subscribe.